everyone, welcome to the start of a new vlog. I am in the kitchen right now. It's like, what time is it? About 3 o'clock, because tonight Andrew and I are gonna have potato leek soup and sauteed mushrooms, and I really want to make some homemade bread to go with it. We were supposed to have this recipe last night, but then I totally forgot to make the bread, and it's such a crucial element to the soup, I feel. So yeah, I'm in the kitchen right now, about to make a recipe from Recipe Tin Eats. Of course, I'll leave it linked in the description. It's called the world's easiest yeast bread recipe, artisan, no knead, crusty bread. So I've made this one several times before, but it's been a while since I've made it, so I have to look at the recipe again to kind of refer to it. So yeah, I'm gonna get out all of my ingredients. This one's a really quick one, actually, compared to breads in general, and again, really easy because there's no kneading involved in it. So I'm just gonna get my recipe together. You get the hot water going because you have to dissolve the yeast in warm water. Let's get some bread going. When I'm making bread, I like to measure everything out with a kitchen scale because I feel like it's much more accurate in getting a good bake at the end rather than using cups measurements, because cups can be a little bit inaccurate, about how tightly you pack it, etc. So I like to use a kitchen scale for my bread baking. So in my big bowl, I have 450 grams of flour. I've added 2 teaspoons of salt. And then in this glass, or measuring cup, I have 1.5 cups of very warm water, and I'm mixing in 2¼ teaspoons of yeast. And then I'm just gonna take some sugar. This isn't actually part of the recipe, but I add my yeast a little bit differently. So I like to dissolve my yeast in this little Pyrex container first. And then I add just a pinch of sugar, just a pinch, literally. Showing you. Pinch, because the sugar will help activate the yeast. I am no expert bread baker by any means, but this is in a lot of other recipes I've done, so I'm gonna do that. And so once this kind of starts activating, and you'll notice it when it starts bubbling and frothing on the top. It has a little bit, but that's just because I've been stirring it. I think it usually takes a few minutes for it to start bubbling. Then I'm going to mix this up. So this has my salt and flour mixture, so I'm just gonna mix that salt in. And then once I have that salt thoroughly mixed in, then I'm gonna create a little well in the center of my flour, and then I'll pour that mixture right into the center and kind of fold it in and mix it up all together. It's gonna be a very wet, sticky dough, and that's what you want. And this is the result. The instructions tell you that it should be not kneadable, but it should not be as runny as cake batter. So this is kind of somewhere in between. There's also a video on the website as well to show you what that looks like. And so now that this is finished, I'm just going to cover this with a towel and leave it for 2 to 3 hours. In this time, the dough is going to double in size and get a bit bubbly. Basically, I just want to show you the process because if you're anything like me, baking with yeast probably intimidated you at some point in time, before you started making it, and it's really no different than any other ingredient. So I'm just showing you because I know when I first started making breads, I'm no expert by any stretch, but it's not as hard. Yeast is this kind of scary thing, I think, to some people, and it was a little intimidating to me at first, but it's really not. It's no big deal. Okay, it's just over 2 hours later. Let's check on the bread. Here's the status. It has definitely gotten bigger, but it's not super bubbly. It says leave it for 2 to 3 hours, so I think I'm gonna leave it for another hour. Darling,
Yeah.
how would you say the yeast is active? Would you say that the yeast has been good for the past few focaccias for you? Because we've had it now since 2020, so I'm wondering how long.
I don't know.
We might need some more.
I don't know anything about that.
A fresh yeast, because we're almost out anyway. Bread is continuing to rise. It's time to make dinner. Let the first soup of the season commence. I know it's not officially autumn yet, but it's the first cozy meal of the year. Part of me feels like we should have done your chili, babe.
I suggested it.
I know. Okay, maybe we'll save your chili for like the first real autumn day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's still like, it's not cold here yet or anything yet. Tonight's agenda is going to be a potato leek soup, one of my favorites. It's delicious, homemade bread, and then a side of sauteed sauteed mushrooms, which is gonna be Andrew's task. Are you gonna put like herb in the mash? Like, I feel like you should do like thyme mushrooms, or
Making mashed potatoes.
not. I keep saying mashed potatoes, not mashed potatoes. Mushrooms. We're doing sauteed mushrooms as a side.
Am I doing that or am I doing the mushroom soda?
That's Friday.
Okay.
I'm setting the oven to preheat to 450 right now, and then I'm putting the Dutch oven in there to preheat with it. You want the Dutch oven to be just as hot as the oven so that when we put the bread into the Dutch oven, that it is already hot. Here's the bread, dumped it out from the bowl onto the worktop with some flour, and then just kind of folded it over a few times, like says 6 times in the recipe, I think, and then put in some caraway seeds and onion salt. And now this is gonna go in the pan and bakes in the oven for however long the recipe says. Got the bread looking fine. Andrew's mushrooms, my potato leek soup. Bon appetit.
Too hot to touch.
I think it's definitely not risen enough. I think it's a yeast issue. We've had it for 2 years. It's time to replace it. Hello everyone. Today's outfit of the day is my Persephone pants sewn in a black bull brushed denim. This pattern is by Anna Allen, of course, because I love her patterns. The top is actually Old Navy, but if you want something similar to sew, the Ogden cami by True Bias could be a good one. It does have this little like button up front right here, but I'm sure that could be hacked. The necklace is from Andrew. He got it for me when we went on our Italy trip ages ago. And then some Birkenstock Arizonas. I've been making lots of progress on my DIY wedding dress. The straps are finished now. All that's left is the hem, so I hung it up so it could drop a little bit if it's going to. So I need to add the hem, like the horsehair braid to the hem, and then after that it's just appliques. That's it. It's 9 days until the wedding. Pretty much everything is done. I'm so glad I decided to make the dress. I know you guys are really concerned about it, but I think it's been a good project for me, and I hope you will agree at this point. It's just like nice to have something to take my mind off of Mika and, you know, other things. I still miss her like all the time so much. It's hard. But yeah, so now I'm just thinking about potentially making a dress for the like welcome drinks rehearsal dinner thing that we're doing on Friday before the wedding. I do have a dress already that I can wear that I'm loaning from my friend Brittany, which is like a really perfect, very me style dress. But I figure if I can make something, why not? And I just have fun doing this sort of thing. So I might make something, but I will not start cutting anything until the wedding dress is like finished. So that's my #1 priority. As for appliques, I haven't ordered anything online, but I have this veil that was given to me by my future sister-in-law that she didn't wear. And there's like tons of appliques all over it. So I really could just like repurpose this, because otherwise this isn't going to be used for anything, because this is not the veil I'm going to use. So I might just cut them out, but you may notice these are very different shades of white. Maybe you won't notice, but this is like more of a crisp white and this is more ivory. So I'm wondering if I can like attempt to dye these maybe with tea or something like that, or if I should just try to like, I don't know, rush order something from Mary Not Martha on Etsy, but even that's kind of a risk. I don't know. I may text some fashion friends like Grace and Emily to see if they know of any good shops in the garment district where I can buy appliques. I don't know. I'll ask them. Probably will ask them. Exciting delivery that arrived today. This is some ribbon for the bouquets. So the plan is that the roses for the bouquets that I've ordered are going to arrive next week on Thursday, and then on Friday me, my sister, and some friends are going to go to the New York City Flower District and snatch up a bunch of stuff for like the filler and stuff like that to mix in with the roses and make all the arrangements on Friday before the wedding. The wedding's on Saturday. By the way, I don't know if I've told you guys that my wedding is on Saturday, September 24th, but yeah, it's coming up. Good morning, everyone. It's the next day. Andrew and I saw a movie last night, as you may have briefly seen. Do not recommend it. Please do yourself a favor and do not see funny pages or funny comics or something like that. It was awful, like so disturbing. Ugh, so disturbing. We left early, actually. That's how much I thought it was disturbing. Anyway, wearing the Amazon leggings, my Nike sneaks, my cotton sports bra. Glad to hear from some of you in the comments that you love it as much as I do. That's exciting. Yeah, I love them too. So I'm gonna go out for my walk. I've done 103 consecutive days of walking. That's crazy, isn't it? Like how something starts off as just like, okay, I'll do this for the day. All right, I'll do this the next day and the next day. And then, oh, it's been 5 days. And then it's 103. Like, that's crazy. All right, I'm off. I'm in the sewing room working on some of the last parts of the dress. As you can see, I have it on the dress form right now, and I need to do the hemming, which is no small task, honestly, because not only do I need to cut it all evenly, I have to attach horsehair braid to many of the layers. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be a task, that's for sure. So right now I have it, like I said, on my dress form. I'm using the hem attachment on it. Honestly, this is like the only reason I keep this dress form, because I haven't learned any draping yet. But yeah, so I'm just using this to mark out the hem on all of the layers. I've done the underskirt already. I don't know if you can see all the pins on it. And now I'm about to pull the second layer, and then I'll cut the third layer after that. I don't know why I've been sitting with my back hunched over on the floor when I could have just put it on my sewing table instead. Work smarter, not harder. marked out the hem with pins. You can just go around and cut it. And this is good enough, you know, like you're not gonna notice if it's not like, you're not gonna notice if it's like a quarter, you know, of an inch off when you're wearing it, so. Good morning. I'm in the sewing room with Jafar. We're working on my wedding dress project. Today I'm hoping to finish the hems. I've trimmed them and now I just have to attach the horsehair braid into them. And then after that, the dress is like done and wearable, but if I'm going to apply appliques to it, then I still need to do that. Let's chat through the appliques. So I think I showed you guys this already, but this is the unused veil that my future sister-in-law isn't using. It's very pure white compared to the dress. Yes, hello. Very pure white compared to the dress. So I'm gonna try to dye them with tea or maybe coffee. And I'm not gonna put like the whole thing into dye at once. I'm just gonna cut a sample to see how it takes the dye or does not take the dye. We'll see, to like kind of experiment with how it's gonna work. And then I'll continue dyeing it in batches if it works. If it doesn't, then I'll just need to evaluate whether or not the color change bothers me or not. We'll have to see, cross that bridge when we get here. And I also want to remove the sequins from it if possible, because I'm not really a sparkles kind of girl. So we will see. All right, I'm not gonna bother trying it on again because I've tried it on so much. But the horsehair braid is in the outer layer now. So you get the idea, you know, like what it does, like the kind of structure it gives. This one's only a 1/2 inch horsehair braid, so it's not gonna give quite as much as like my 3-inch one to the layers underneath, but you can see how it like makes it stiffer. It like stands away, it drags differently. It's not quite as like flowy and romantic, which that's totally like an option. It's not that I don't like that look, but this is just more what I wanted. I wanted it to kind of stand away and have a little more structure to it. So I'm on my way now to pick up my wedding dress. It's close to the Rockefeller Center, so I pass by, you know, the Rock, and also Saks Fifth Avenue while I'm here, so it's fun to see like what new things they've done in the window. They have like the Valentino pink windows on a lot of them. Oh, that's cute. Tailoring moment. Grocery, getting some supplies for this weekend and for the week. Just got home from the grocery. I like to, whenever I have people coming to stay with me, I like to get like their favorite drink and favorite snack. It's like my hostess with the mostest thing. So I was stocking up on favorite drinks and snacks for my family who are going to be staying with me for a couple days. My mom gets in on Tuesday. And then my sister and Maverick, my nephew, get in on Wednesday, and then my dad gets in on Thursday, and then they're getting a hotel later. But yeah, so I'm gonna be having my mom and Laura and Maverick here for a little bit, which is gonna be fun. So yeah, got some snacks. The house is so clean right now. Oh man, we had cleaners today and like such a luxury. Oh my gosh, it's the best. The best. It's so, oh, it's beautiful. It's so beautifully clean in here right now. It smells amazing. So yeah, I'm quite tired, honestly. So I think Andrew and I may like curl up and watch a movie together, just chill out. I got a lot done on my dress, on the hems, but I picked up my wedding dress, brought that home as I told you about, and it looks perfect. Oh my gosh, I don't even know if I'm gonna want to change into this one. This might just be like the getaway exit dress or something. I don't know. I have to wear it at some point. I love it. you know, been such a fun process to make it, but I love the dress I got so much too. Definitely made the right choice. Okay, I'll check in with you guys later. So I've started with this little one here as an experiment first to see if it would even work, but my love had the brilliant idea that I could dye these to be a little more ivory. So I have some tea bags in here, just some Lipton tea, put 3 bags in this right here, and I'm just kind of dyeing them one at a time after I like cut them out of this veil that my future sister-in-law didn't need or want for her own wedding. So what a way to recycle this, I feel. And now here you can see the difference. I'll compare. It's just really slight, but it takes that brightness off of it just a tad. So yeah, I think it's going well. All tea stained, dyed and ready for tomorrow. I look like a mole. Busy day ahead. I'm in the sewing room working on finishing the hem. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but then yesterday was also such a busy day that I just like wanted to cuddle with Andrew at the end of the day, so I didn't. But I'm finishing up the hem. It sounds like my love is in the kitchen doing breakfasty things. Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm finished with the outer layer of organza, attaching that tool, or not tool, excuse me, the horsehair braid. Now I'm doing the second layer. Hello. Yes. Are you helping? Yes. So now I'm attaching the horsehair braid to the second layer. The tricky part about this, which some horsehair braids kind of account for this, is that this horsehair braid doesn't have a like running thread that goes through the top. Some of them do, so you can like pull it taut to gather it to like a circumference, because obviously the circumference 4 inches up is going to be different than the circumference at the bottom of the dress. It's going to be a smaller circumference here, whereas the bottom is going to be the largest circumference. So I don't really have a gathering stitch to pull it to it, and I know that this is going to get all bunched up if I try to sew it straight on the sewing machine. So I'm thinking that the best thing to do is to hand sew and tack it like maybe every 6 inches or so, like all the way around the dress, rather than straight stitching it on the sewing machine. And lucky for me, because it's in the second layer, there's no way that this can really get caught in my feet or my walking, because I still have another layer underneath it. So I'm thinking, because I'm not going to be adding horsehair braid to this one, just to 2 layers. So I'm thinking that that is a good solution. Hey guys, after a long day of hand sewing appliques, I am on my way to Times Square to meet Callie and an old friend of mine, Savan, and we're gonna go see a Broadway show. We're gonna go to Beetlejuice. I've been wanting to see Beetlejuice for ages, but of course I feel like I should wait until Callie's in town, because she's having one of her Broadway weeks where she sees like 2 shows a day for a week. I'm not kidding, this girl is crazy when it comes to Broadway. But anyway, we're gonna get some dinner, we're gonna see a show, we're just gonna hang out. So the wedding week begins. This is the beginning of wedding week. I'm so excited. Even the Taco Bell is fancy. It is an absolutely perfect late summer evening. It's beautiful outside. Could not ask for anything better right now.
like it?
Yes, it's adorable.
Look behind you. They do it every day. Cauliflower. We're gonna try the fried macaroni.
We're getting stuff. It's good B-roll, you know?
Oh, you want the full?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
We have some like.
We just had drinks and snacks at Blue Dog. I'm talking to my vlog right now.
Yeah, she's filming.
Filming my vlog.
do it.
Yes. And now we're headed to see Beetlejuice. Sylvan and Kelly have already seen it. Did you? I heard it. Interesting tidbit. This is in the same building that VKL is in, for anybody who's ever been to VKL. I didn't know that they did shows here.
Happy anniversary! Back to where it all started. Yeah, he is.
We're in line for drinks, which are massively overpriced, but
Worth it.
worth it. You do it for the cup as much as you do it for the alcohol, honestly. They're like a little souvenir. Can you guys see it?
Just doing it. So now are we videoing?
Of course.
We're seeing Beetlejuice.
What?
Did you get a pic of that?
I'm curious to see Elizabeth though, because I haven't seen her.
Right, you better fill up. So this is the dude.
The show was so good. Beetlejuice was so good. It was so funny. So fun. I loved it. What a way to kick off wedding week. Such a great show. Oh, loved it. I'm walking over to Bryant Park right now to catch the F train to go home, snuggle with Andrew. Andrew's not really into Broadway very much. I can't say that it's like my favorite thing either. I will see a musical like once, but I don't really need to see it over and over, except Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge is so good. I've seen that show like 5 times now. I'd see it again. But yeah, so most of the time I only need to see a show like once. But Andrew could not care less about Broadway. Luckily, whenever Callie comes to town, she's gonna see everything like a gazillion times. So there's always an opportunity to see something when she's in town. But yeah, Beetlejuice is really fun. Walking to Bryant Park now, and we'll be heading home shortly. Good morning. Wedding week day 2. I have skipped my walk 2 days in a row and I am feeling it. It's not that I wanted to, but I've just been so busy with wedding prep. Like I wake up and start stuff immediately. Like I'm almost done. Just a few like, you know, last minute stuff. Anyway, I'm going to put on an audiobook, start this week off right. Back from my walk, showered. I have my eggs on the stovetop, or they were, they're cooling now. And now it's time to start the workday. I worked on the dress for, I don't know, like 30 minutes sewing appliques. It goes pretty quickly. It's not the speediest work, but it's definitely faster than I was expecting it to be based on how Emily taught me to do it. Essentially, she's just taught me to like stitch, like tack it down wherever I have a pin to tack it down. And I thought with appliques that you like did a running stitch around like every single little bit of it. Apparently you can also do it that way. She's like, but you don't have the time for that. So I was like, okay, yeah. So yeah, so tacking it down it is, and it's going pretty well, and I think it looks great. Plus I like a more 3D effect with appliques anyway. My inspiration dress is definitely more like 3-dimensional style appliques. So anyway, I'm working right now. Jafar is hanging by my side, which is sweet, and we've got the windows open, and it's just a lovely morning. Finished making my deviled eggs, made some homemade mayo for them, of course. It's just so good. Still working, still hanging out with Jafar. Hello, night 2, day 2 of wedding week. I am headed to Topo thin crust pizza in Flatiron. It's like a staple amongst my former coworkers who are still to this day some of my best friends in the whole world. So we're getting a big dinner tonight, unrelated to the wedding stuff. Actually, it all happened to be converging at this time. So I'm going to meet them for dinner. The weather is crazy right now. Do you see this? Do you hear this? The wind. Something starting to drizzle. It is Tuesday, day 3 of wedding week. My mom is going to be here in like 2 hours. I've been working on my dress this morning for a little while. I'm now pausing to do my morning walks. I'm trying to stick to my routines as much as possible. I've been up since like 3:30 this morning. I couldn't sleep. I'm not nervous or anything like that. I don't know. Eager, anticipating, I don't know. Maybe a little stressed because I haven't finished these appliques, but it's going so well. I know I'm gonna finish with plenty of time for these appliques, so I don't know why I'm stressing over it, but yeah. So I'll be glad to have my mom here today. My sister and my nephew get here tomorrow. My dad comes in on Thursday. Yeah, it's just gonna be wonderful. Automatic replies are on. Mom is here. And I'm just excited. Now officially starts like wedding week. I mean, it's already wedding week, but I'm off work now, which is exciting. I finished the appliques on the dress, unless I decide to add some more. Mom has unboxed all of the like faux candles because we can't have real candles inside the strand, so we are doing faux candles. So she's unboxed and unwrapped all of those. I am getting out, we've gotten out the tablecloths that we need to steam/press. So my plan is to like spray them down with a spray bottle, then maybe throw them in the dryer to ease some of those wrinkles and then steam and iron them. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, things are happening. How do you feel, Mom?
I feel great. I'm so glad to be here. This is the day I've been dreaming of
Oh,
since
God.
you were born.
Oh, Mom.
Does someone still have their phone on them in case? Oh, yeah.
Go. What do you think?
So that was
Long time no talk. So today is the day before the wedding, and everything is done, mostly.
So tired.
Yes. We did a, oh my gosh, marathon putting together flowers today. Andrew was stellar in helping that out. My friends came over. I shopped in the garment district, the flower district this morning at 7 a.m. Andrew and I got up at
Dawn.
before
dawn.
like 5:30 in the morning to leave at 6 to go to the flower district. I was so nervous. Oh my gosh, a bundle of nerves before we got there. But then once I got there and saw the flowers they had, it was fine. It was great. I was like having the time of my life. But we just dropped off all of the stuff at Strand, and now we're in hella traffic trying to get back to our apartment so we can get ready for the family dinner that we have in an hour and a half. So, how are you feeling? Just really tired.
Yeah,
I feel
worked the rest of the week too, so I did not get a recovery.
neither did I.
Should have had a day in between.
You should have, yeah, taken off more days, but even so, it's been super busy. But yeah, so it's tomorrow. I'm feeling great. Adrenaline's kicking in for me. I've been up since 3:30 this morning, just like, I don't know, looking up hair or makeup tutorials and hair options for tomorrow morning.
You're
And
getting your makeup done
no, I'm not getting my makeup done. I'm doing my own.
though. You're getting your hair done.
Yes, getting my hair done. This is a very DIY wedding. Did our own flowers, did
I
our own
mean,
music.
It's us.
Yeah, I know. What else do you expect? We're the Renaissance man and Renaissance woman.
Yeah. We're
So-
doing our own DJ, we're doing the flowers.
Yep.
I offered to make all the appetizers, but no.
No, he was trying to make the cocktail hour snacks, and I know this is something he would love to do, but literally what time would you have had to do that today?
None.
Exactly. But Andrew is amazing at cooking, so I have no doubt they would have been delicious, but just getting them done in time wouldn't have happened. All right, so we're sitting in traffic, like I said, heading back to the apartment. We're gonna get ready. I'm gonna do my best to vlog, but I make no promises. I want this for myself for the future, but you know, I'm sure many of you know it's busy, and remembering to, or even having time to pick up my camera to vlog anything is hard, so. All right, talk to you guys soon.
Make out.